Hello and welcome to Simple Country Place. I have 4 super easy real life meal ideas for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. Welcome and enjoy. First thing I'm making is BBQ Kabasa Bites and cheesy potatoes. So I'm starting with the potatoes because obviously those take longer to cook. And I have a couple diced up red potatoes and an onion. And then to that, I'm adding a can of cheddar cheese soup and some sour cream. And then just pepper and parsley for seasonings. Super simple. And honestly, I kind of threw this together because I had that can of cheddar cheese soup. I can't remember why I bought it, but it was in my pantry. And I was like, what can I do with this? So that is what I did. I mixed that all together and then I put it in a casserole dish, covered it, and put it into the oven. Like I said, I put this in the oven first because potatoes are going to take longer. And I ate some of this and it was good. I like my homemade cheesy potatoes better, honestly, but I mean, it was good if you don't want to go through the process of making your own cheese sauce and stuff, or if you have a random can of cheddar cheese soup lying around like I did. And I didn't add salt to this because that cheddar cheese soup is salty. I don't know, maybe I'm sensitive to salt because I kind of feel like things are salty a lot of the time when everyone else does not. So maybe, but who knows. So anyways, super easy. Threw that all together into a casserole dish, covered it, and into the oven. So with that, I'm making the BBQ Kabasa Bites. So I'm making the sauce here. Have some barbecue sauce I'm throwing in that dish. And then I'm adding hot sauce and crushed red pepper for seasoning. And honestly, mistakes were made because I did not intend, you'll see there's a significant amount of crushed red pepper in there. I did not intend to do that. It came out super fast, but I just went with it. My husband and nephew, this was too spicy for my nephew, but my husband said, this is pretty spicy, Ash. And I'm like, I know, but he liked it. My nephew tried it and he's like, I can't handle it. So thankfully we had a friend over this day and he likes spicy stuff, so he ate some of it too. But anyways, cut up kielbasa, threw it in that sauce, mixed it together. And again, super easy. Put that in a casserole dish, covered it, and then, put that in the casserole dish. Before I covered it, I added sprinkled brown sugar over the top, and then I covered it, and then I threw that in the oven too. So here's what both those looked like when they came out of the oven. I just kind of babysat the potatoes and made sure they were fork tender and served that with some green beans. And yeah, it was something different. My husband did say he would eat it again, so that's always a positive. Next time I will not make it as spicy though before my nephew. So on this day, I am making stuffed French toast. So I have a couple eggs there that I'm scrambling together and going to be adding half and half to that like I normally do for French toast, and then vanilla, sugar, and cinnamon. And I do have Mexican vanilla that I use for situations like this. To me, it has kind of like, well, a lot of people say it has more of a cinnamony taste to it than like other vanilla. So that's why I added Mexican vanilla, some sugar, and then just some more cinnamon. So there I have some blackberries and some blueberries that I had in my freezer that I thawed. And I'm just adding sugar and then mixing that around and setting it. I did set that aside for a while. Obviously this video doesn't look like that much time, but did set it aside for like the juices and stuff to release. And then I have some cream cheese, and then I'll be adding like about half of that berry mixture to the cream cheese and mixing that all together. So there is that mixed, and then I am making just French toast like you would. I dipped my bread into the egg mixture that I had made, and I cooked it on both sides, like cooked both pieces on both sides prior to filling it. And I don't know if that's right or wrong, but that's just how I did it. So I made sure both sides were cooked, and then I took that cream cheese and berry mixture, put that on a slice of the toast, and then put the other one on top. So I made a little sandwich with it. And I just let that like heat up for a little bit on the stove. And then on top of that sandwich French toast situation, I put some more berries and some more juice. And then I just served that with some bacon I had cooked in the oven, which is my favorite way to cook it. And yeah, my husband really liked this. My nephew had never had stuffed French toast before, and so he was super jazzed about it. And yeah, I had a half of like a sandwich, and it was very good. On this night, I am making like a one-pan dish kind of chicken French onion casserole. So I have some shredded chicken that I'm adding to that casserole dish that I'm going to be mixing everything in so I don't dirty a lot of dishes. To that, I'm adding cream of chicken soup and French onion soup mix that I had used like a smidge of it in another recipe, and so I had just the remainder in that container there. So I added the rest of that, and then I'm also adding those fried onions, just some, and cooked egg noodles that I had obviously cooked. So mixing that all together, and this honestly, I was kind of just flying by the seat of my pants this night because I didn't have anything planned and needed something kind of quick, and I had all this stuff on hand, but this was obviously shortly after Thanksgiving, so it kind of reminded me of green bean casserole. Maybe that's a thing, I don't know. But anyways, mixed all that together, and then before I covered it and put it in the oven, I did put more of the fried onions on the top. And then, like I said, put some tin foil on, and then threw that in the oven. Obviously, everything in there is like pretty much cooked. So you really only need to put it in the oven long enough for like the saucy bits to come together and like the French onions kind of crisp up on the top and everything to heat up. And I just served that with a side salad, and my husband liked it. Again, we had another friend over this night. He liked it. And it was like super duper easy, especially if you have like the chicken, like the shredded chicken on hand. I mean, very, very simple. This fourth meal is like a Cajun sausage, beans, and rice skillet thing. So I have some bell pepper and an onion that I put in that pan to start cooking down. And once that was cooked down, I added cut up summer sausage. We always have summer sausage on hand because I buy it like in bulk at Costco, then freeze it. And so I cut up some of that, threw that in there, but really you could use like ground sausage, chicken, I mean, really anything. So added that in to get that starting to cook, crisp up a little bit. And then I had some drained and rinsed black beans, one of our other pantry staples that I'm adding to that. Mixing that around a bit. And I had also thrown in a bag of cauliflower rice, like the steamable in the bag kind, into my microwave to get that steaming. If you've been here before, you know my husband does not like rice, but he does like cauliflower rice, which is a bonus anyway because it's healthier for you. So that's steamed and I'm adding that in. And then for seasonings, I'm adding in cumin, parsley, Old Bay, chipotle, chili pepper seasoning, and just regular black pepper as well. Once I add all those seasonings in, I mix that all around and together, let it cook for a bit, and you will see me, I did like test taste some of the cauliflower rice just to see where it was at for, flavor, and then ended up adding a bit more Old Bay seasoning and some more pepper. And again, like everything at this point is cooked, so really you just need to let it cook enough for like the seasonings to get in there and all the heat to come together and whatnot. And I just served this with crescent rolls that like the in the can kind that you roll up and bake in the oven. I made those, and yeah, my nephew came home and he was like super hungry. And he's like, "Oh, is this done?" And I'm like, "Yep, it just had gotten done." So, he said it was really good. He did after like his second helping. He was like, "Okay, now the spice is coming. Like I need," he was complaining because like he's like, "The more I eat it, the more spicy it gets." And he had 2 helpings of it though, so obviously it was good. And yeah, my husband liked it too. Again, I asked him, like, because I'd never made this before, and I was like, "Would you eat it again?" And he's like, "Oh, yeah, absolutely." And granted, I didn't serve it with a vegetable, but there's a lot of cauliflower rice in there, so I feel like that's a pass, right? Not always a perfect situation, real life here. Thank you so much for watching, and please come back for future videos.